Welcome to No Quit, the podcast where real business isn't filtered. I'm Jeff Leschere, founder of Fleur de Lis Law and Title. I've built an 8-figure company, but not without setbacks, burnouts, and moments that nearly broke me. This podcast is where I tell the truth about what it really takes to grow something that lasts. The wins, the losses, and the grit in between. If you're in it for more than just the highlight reel, you're in the right place. The stories shared on this podcast are based on real experiences, but details have been changed or generalized to protect client confidentiality. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship. So welcome again to the No Quit podcast. I'm Jeff Leschere, your host. Today we're with Abi Caswell, owner of Batter Bakery. Is that kind of what it goes by? I should know it very well. I have 2 pink boxes on my island in my kitchen as we speak.
I'll
trying
go pay
not
our
to
phone
eat.
bill.
Yeah, well, I just tried to steer clear of it all at one time.
Yeah.
I don't want to empty the box out on one visit to the kitchen. So,
Moderation's
but great to have you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for
I
having
hope
me.
that we can give some good feedback to people, both not just from the adversity side and how you overcame things in life, but also too, it seems like you're kind of a social media expert, certainly to me.
I don't know about expert.
And so I'm looking for some tips today.
Okay. Well, I have to charge by the hour if you're looking for tips.
But starting out, give us kind of the 60-second background on you and kind of, let us know a little bit more about Abi.
Okay. So I own Batter. We have 2 locations, one in Hammond and one in New Orleans. I started out of my house, but we went to the Hammond Farmers Market and had great success there. So we opened a storefront in downtown Hammond, and we've been there since the end of 2022. And then we opened our New Orleans storefront at the at the end of 2024. And so now this will be a year that we've been open.
Where in New Orleans is it at?
So it's in the CBD on Baronne Street. It's directly across from the Virgin Hotel.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's very gorgeous. But so we celebrate a year there. Actually, this Saturday we have a birthday party coming up.
Congrats, man.
Thanks.
Where are you from originally? You from here? Or?
No, I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana. But my husband, we moved here for him to coach baseball with Southeastern in 2018.
Wow, and opening up a business. So what happens if he decides to take a job like head coaching somewhere?
He moved to Ponchatoula High School after Southeastern because I was like, we're kind of stuck here. We're not leaving. So we both love Hammond.
And what was in that building before? Was it the seafood market?
It was the seafood market.
Yeah, it was that for the longest time. But
I was actually scared to go see it when they told me about it because I was like, I don't want to smell.
Well, you must have had to renovate quite a bit in there, huh?
Well, actually, Hurricane Ida had busted out the windows, so the smell was gone. It was a shell, and we walked in, and I was like, sure, this looks good. So
nice. So what was that like getting started? I mean, have you ever run a business before? Or?
No, I've always been very business-minded since I was a kid, but I've never run a business before. I actually used to work for a lot of small businesses in my past, and I would always do their social media. Like before social media marketing was a thing.
Yeah.
Back when Facebook didn't even have like business pages yet, I would do a lot of local businesses, Facebook marketing for the local community. So I had that aspect of it.
I mean, you must have started like in high school or something because you don't seem that old.
I'm 30, but I would say like probably around the time I was 19.
Okay.
So so I did that, and then I decided to open my business from my house. And what was the question? I already got off
I don't know. I
track.
think you covered it there.
When I had to say my age, I'm like, how old am I?
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Wait, yeah. So no, I had no business experience prior, but it was stressful opening a business, of course, for the first time. But I'm a very there's a lot of deadlines when you're opening a business and a lot of stuff to check off the list, and I'm good at that kind of thing, like the setup. So setting it up was, I'm not going to say easy. It was stressful, but I was really driven throughout it to like.
But as you check those
done.
Boxes, you kind of push through.
Yes.
What was it like to start out? Opening the business. I wonder sometimes in what I do. It's just like anybody else starting a business. People think, oh, you're a lawyer. It's a little bit easier. It's not. I mean, if you can get over the personal side of it, that's probably the biggest part. But you have to, I guess in our case, at least show some experience. Here's some clients that we can bring when it comes time to maybe whether it's sign a lease or, getting a loan to get started or things like that. What was that like for, a bakery? I mean,
nobody believed in me because I had like things to back it up. It was more like I told them they should.
Yeah.
So
were you convincing? I mean, did they buy in?
I think I must be. So I guess we had the success at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And so I thought that would be enough. I'm like, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all of our numbers at the farmer's market. We sell out. And the banks were just like laughing. They're like, that means nothing. So I actually called probably 5 or 6 banks, and it was Gulf Coast Bank. Jeff there actually is the first person that was
Jeff Dameron?
Yes. Yeah. And he was a huge advocate for me. And he was on them to help me get some money.
Well, good for him. I mean, so you're probably a lifelong customer now, I'm sure.
I love him. Like if I ever needed anything, yeah. And he helped me with my second business too. And he was great, but he was the first person that I was like, look, I can do this.
Wait, so second location or second
location?
Okay,
yeah,
I was like, man, you got a whole separate business?
I do technically have 3 businesses because my brand, like my personal brand is its own business, but I mean, that's just me, but my second location.
Well, let's dive into that a little bit. We'll come back to the bakery in a bit too, because I mean, it seems like, I guess that's the side that, and I'm older and not as tech savvy, I guess, with social media, but it seems to be a huge part about, what you're about. It seems like, from what I hear, at least out there, I mean, you're headlong into that, right? Every day, all day, like they get to see kind of behind the scenes. You do a lot of TikTok lives. I mean,
I do. And I tapered off the TikTok lives when we opened our second location because I'm no longer in like one place long enough anymore. But yeah, so when I was building out ham and batter, I just started filming everything. And I had seen people go viral, on TikTok. And I was not necessarily trying to go viral, but just trying to see if what I was doing was interesting.
Yeah.
And my very first, actually, let me be fair, I saw somebody make a day in the life style video and it inspired me. I was like, I do so much every day to like open my business. I'm not working for anyone else right now, just for myself. So I was like, let me try to film all day and see how long, And back then TikTok had a 3-minute limit. And in my head, like, I don't know why, but I thought I had to reach this 3 minutes, So I would film the longest day in the life videos ever and do the worst voice. Like going back listening to it now is so bad. But the very first one I posted, I got like 12,000 followers overnight. It was
followers. So how many views?
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
Wow.
Hundreds of. I think it stopped. Well, not stopped, but like it kind of tapered off around like 600,000. What
was it about the video you think that like drew them in?
Well, so knowing a little bit about marketing, like you have to have a hook, right? So it was, let me conjure this up. Come with me for a day in the life of a 27-year-old girl who's trying to open a bakery. And so I think trying to open a bakery was kind of like the part that really drew people in. Like, oh, it's not open yet.
Well, I think too, though, that's sort of like the premise behind trying to do this podcast. I think people are so desperate out there for some real, outline on how to do something or how to get something done, because that's the barrier, right? You see all these successful people. I mean, you have no way to gauge the small minority of people that really is, because so many people don't make it. They're not doing videos about, a day in the life of somebody who failed, and didn't make it. But when you watch it, there's also so much like kind of glamour and social media to it. Like people don't really leave it with the thought all the time of like what it looks like. I mean, a day in the life probably gave them a really good picture of, so that's what it's like, right?
Oh, I definitely think it was a blueprint for some people.
Yeah.
I've had, no less than 30 people reach out to me and say, I started my business because of this.
Really?
I used what you said in my business because of this. I mean, and if it were just the little tidbits that people take, hundreds, right? Maybe thousands. I don't know.
I mean, that's amazing, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. But so many, like there is a lot of knowledge in our videos, and you're right. People don't post when they fail, except like I do try to post that.
Yeah.
Like if I mess up, I post it. If we have a customer issue, I post it. If I do something wrong or an employee thing, within reason, I don't name people's names,
Sure.
but I do think that that's what kind of makes me different, is that I do share that stuff, and people, want to see the negative stuff. They're like, well, that's just drama. You're sharing drama. It's like, no, this is actually every single day.
Yeah.
I just tell you, every now and then something bad that happens, but like in the life of a business owner, something goes wrong almost every day. Yeah.
Well, also too, it becomes a situation where you don't actually get to do what it is you started out doing. The business sort of takes over and you end up running the business, and that becomes a big part of the day as well. But I think it's a level of authenticity, right? Right. I mean, because you could drive by your place and walk in there right now, and I don't want to say it's easy, but some people might get the impression it was easy.
Oh, people tell me that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you make it look easy. I'm like, well, that's a compliment,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. Like,
You get you're so lucky because, you did
you're so lucky. That's my favorite.
like it took no effort.
You're so lucky you work 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, every business is like that. So I'm sure you had those, whether it was 3 months, 6 months, a year, that you were spending every waking hour, if not doing it, thinking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I have slept through the night in 2 decades because it's what you wake up thinking about, and then you're up and you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to sometimes tell that, not just to people, but even your employees too. Like, they see you leave early. What they don't see is your first email came in at 2:30 in the morning.
Well, and they're never going to be as invested as you are. So they can't relate to the fact that it's not 9 to 5 because for them, that is what it is. But I agree. Like, when I go home, I'm never really at home unless it's like a conscious effort.
You got to squeeze life into the spaces.
Yeah. It's not like that, and I suffer with a lot of guilt for that too. Like, if my employees, if let's say I'm off the clock, quote unquote, to them, it looks like I'm off the clock during the day. I feel guilt about that. Like, oh gosh, do they think I'm out here like sitting on my couch? I think about that kind of stuff.
It's the worry. I have the same thing. I mean, I don't know how your husband deals with it. I know my wife is. It's funny that today I told her, I was like, look, I want to take this other trip, and we've been started, taking a few more trips as of late, but this comes after 20 years. I have never been gone from this place more than probably 4 or 5 days in a row. And even those times, 3 or 4 times in the 20 years I've been doing this. But I want to start because now I'm 46 and I'm like, we lost all those young years where we could, hike a longer trail or do these things. And I think people don't always see it. And if you don't squeeze it in, you're never going to go back to it. So, like, how does your husband deal with it? I mean, does he take it all in stride? Does he take part in the business?
Yeah. So Trey is a baseball coach. So he is
pretty
much booked and busy. Yeah. From January to May. So we both, that time of the year for us, I would say, is very stressful.
You're all in, huh?
Yeah. So it's holiday season for us. We have a holiday every month, it feels like. And then they're in baseball season. I'm trying to show up for him and support him at his games. He's working for the store when they're closed for the holidays. So that's just a really stressful time. I would say in the winter, kind of like right now, when we have Thanksgiving going on, like, he came to my shop and worked Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So he's like an extra set of hands I don't have to pay.
Are y'all cyclical in the sense that y'all pick up at certain times, like as the holidays, I'm sure busier?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I would say our slower months are September, October.
Really?
Not really the summer. Like, summer is pretty average, but September, October, we're very slow.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, that sounds so ominous. Not very slow. We're slow.
You're slower than the other months. I mean, we get the same thing. January, February is that time for us. I mean, nobody's out shopping for houses when the weather's bad or it's raining or cold or what have you. They want to wait for the kids to be out for the summer and everything looks nicer. And so we, obviously do a lot of real estate transactions. So that's when it picks up. But so tell me, I guess, a little bit too about the social media. You're talking about some of the fails as a business owner. And I know that it seems like you've taken those things head on in social media. How has that played out for you?
I guess, so it's like a double-edged sword. So you'll find people that are like, thank you so much for sharing this. I find a lot of people that resonate. And then again, you have the people that are like, well, why are you sharing this? This is your customer's business. And I find that actually one thing that I am adamant about is that customers need a reality check sometimes. I mean, we have dealt with some really unfortunate circumstances that were just not normal. Yeah. That I almost feel like because of social media, customers have gotten so brazen in the way that they approach us, approach their reviews, approach their experience, approach their expectations, and so that's kind of what I share on social media for is like, if you come in here and you berate my staff, if you come in here and you have...
You're unreasonable.
Yes. Yeah. Over a cupcake. Like, I don't tolerate people treating my staff like dirt over a cupcake. Yeah. It's not that serious. And even to me, it pays my bills. It's not that serious. It's never that serious. You should scream at someone over dessert. It's
so tough. I mean, I totally agree with that. And even what we do, right? I mean, we're sometimes dealing with millions of dollars on the line, with regard to a commercial property maybe being purchased or whatever. But at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of level of reasonableness. Like, we're all human. There's going to be a mistake. You didn't get the email or the call or whatever, and we're sorry about that, but don't burn it down. Oh, because of the one thing.
They've got the matches for sure. Yeah. I do feel especially, and we have amazing customers. Like this is like 5%.
It's the minority, but they're the
Yes.
loudest ones.
And they are, and they'll almost grab you by, like, I've got it on you. I'm going to say something, I'm going to tell everybody.
And you want to quiet them down if you can.
And
yep.
I obviously, of course, this is my livelihood. I have a strict policy, actually. I go by the Amazon way of things. Like, you don't like what you got, send it back, and here's your money. Like, I don't want to keep your money if you didn't enjoy it. I refund every single purchase. Oh, this is not going to be good for me. Everybody's going to have a problem now. But no, but really, like, if it's a legitimate, concern and you did not enjoy what you have, sometimes we just don't enjoy what we get. Like, not everybody's going to like everything. I know that.
It's really healthy to hear you say that, though. Not that you haven't been doing this and you're not great at it, and you've got enough time in it for sure to be a vet, so to speak, of business. But it took me a long time to realize I don't need everyone on earth to be my customer, right? There's a level of, I want quality in my life, and maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not cut out. Maybe we just don't jive, right? Maybe you just like someone else better. Maybe they are better. I don't know. But for the longest time, I fought with both customers and also staff and employees as well, trying to jump through every hoop I could, being the yes man as much as I can. And it just wears you down, And it's like at some point you start to look up, you're like, well, all right, what else can I do with my life? Because I'm not happy here, And I know we kind of touched on that before we started filming today. You were talking about the hiring process and how difficult that can be. I mean, what have you faced with regard to that?
I feel like our hiring situations are going to be different because I'm hiring college age kids, which is definitely, I would say, the most challenging part of my job for sure. It's part-time work. There's a lot of turnover. I've had a lot of people work for me for a year, 2 years, the whole time they were in college. We've only been open for 3 years, but we've had girls that have worked for us since, they started to when they graduated. And I love that. There are very few people left and that generation specifically that come in, we give them what they need to do, and they do the bare minimum that's listed.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost, and not all of them, like the girls that work for me right now are great. And we do find great ones every so often. I normally know in an interview if somebody's going to work or not, 90% of the time. But I've had people come in for an interview and I'll stop their interview.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I do not have that kind of time. And people, actually, I was telling somebody that the other day, another business owner, they were shocked. They're like, what do you mean you stop an interview? I'll say, I'm sorry, this isn't a good fit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't have that kind of time to waste.
Again, another point where you're like very healthy for having said it, because at 20 years in, I am still the guy that sits through it, tries to be overly optimistic. And
I'm not optimistic. Maybe that's
well, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's something out there saying this isn't going to work, and I'm still going to try to force the issue anyway. And ultimately, oddly enough, I mean, it's how I am sitting here today in this podcast. The inability to, I guess, find that realization this person's not going to work out, or the difficulty I've run into trying to force the square peg in the round hole for so long, and no matter who is telling me, my wife primarily, hey, this isn't the right person.
Yeah.
It's why I'm sitting here, because eventually it does backfire. And maybe it's the person's just not cut out for what we do. And maybe it's that they have bad intentions. Whatever the case may be, I ignored it, and
I'll tell you,
puts you in a bad place.
That exact thing. There have been people. In fact, there was one particular person that taught me this lesson, like very early in my business. I knew they need to be fired. I knew, but like I was so early in my business, it's so uncomfortable to fire people,
Yep.
and I just kept like, okay, it'll change. Okay, I'll talk to them. It'll change. Okay, I'll talk to them. And it caused so much strife with me, with other employees. It was a big mess. And I said, that's it. That is the last time when I have that thought, this person cannot work here.
Yeah.
They go.
Well, I'm there now for 20 years.
I've probably seen so many more. We have higher turnover than you.
Look, I mean, you say that, but I mean, I bet we've had in 20 years, 200 plus people.
Oh gosh, well,
that have worked here, and we're in the 40s, I guess now, and there's no glaring issues or problems at this point, and we've gotten better at facing them and taking them on earlier in the process. And so we feel really great about the staff now, but we've had some terrible, terrible people here too. And it's like, they leave.
It's like cancer. That's how I
Yeah,
look at it.
it is
Like
just like that.
they affect everybody around them. They affect me. I will not walk on eggshells in my own business. Like if
Yeah.
I think you don't jive with me or you don't jive with what we do or you don't jive with your coworkers, like it's not personal, but you can't work here. There's so many other
Yeah.
places. Why would you want to work somewhere that we're
I've
not
always
all
taken
getting
it so
along?
personal though, and I don't want to be personal and hurt their
Do you go
feelings.
to therapy?
I shouldn't, but I feel like I'm in it now.
So I go to therapy once a week, and I started around that time, like when I realized that girl, that like probably a few months, I used to take everything personally as well. So I felt like I needed an outlet to like discuss all this type of thing that was going on at work, because I do feel like I did take things personally, and it was affecting me in my job, and I didn't want it to.
Yeah.
And so I started therapy in the middle of 2023. I go once a week for the last 2 years. And that is why I think my boundaries are so much firmer, and I don't take everything, quite so personally, because I have someone that once a week I go to, I'm like, let me just blurt it all out. Okay,
Yeah.
let's process this. And I look forward to that, as opposed to just feeling it all inside and like, oh my gosh, it's me, and it's not me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just not going to get along
Well,
with people.
I think to some extent I am doing that, not maybe the same setting, but, after 20 years of sort of not taking care of myself, I get up at anywhere from 3:50 to 4:30 in the morning now. And my day almost every day is going to start out with either working out or running a few miles. And that gets a lot of bad energy out, and it gets me the ability to kind of get in my head and think things through. But I think too, I have been more, I don't want to say more open, because I always spoke to my wife a lot. I don't think I was as honest with her. I don't think I really told her how I felt or how things might be affecting me. And so here I am kind of giving my problems to someone, not completely honest, and they can't help in any way. And so that has changed my life. I mean, she's more involved now, and she is a much better gauge of a person than I am, or at least more honest with herself and more willing to commit to it when she knows it's not going to work.
But also she's a little more removed from it.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
have
That's
a
right.
wider lens,
That's
you know.
right,
And
for sure.
I do the same thing with my husband. In fact, he probably wishes I was less open because we're constantly talking about work.
Why you got him batting sixth in the lineup?
But yeah, I mean, I do the same thing. Like they just have such a different, I tell people all the time, like if I'm having a problem, the first thing I say is, I got to call my husband.
Yeah.
Like, let me just go.
Is it also a lot of what you're showing on social media, or do you stick primarily just to the actual like bakery side of things?
I would say that like 99% of the problems in my life are the bakery related,
Yeah.
you know, but there are definitely things I don't share on social media if I think that like the person's identity would be easily
Sure.
revealed
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. But also normally my thought process is like, if I'm going to share something on social media, it happened and I get on social media.
Right
I
there.
always digest like
Yeah.
few
Let it settle in and
days,
get
yes,
emotion out
like
of it.
how badly do I want to post this on social
Yeah.
media? You know, because there are going to be comments, people are going to have a different point of view, you know, so you have to be mentally prepared for that side of it. I would say it's like 50-50. Like the gender reveal cake that y'all mentioned right before we started filming, like, yeah, that was terrible.
Mhm.
But the end result, you know, well, the mom was obviously upset. There was nothing that we could do about it. It was a true mistake that we had to like take ownership of. But in the end, like the mom and I were able to talk, and now every year I'm going to make that kid's birthday cake for free. And it's like
Wow.
a memory, and, you know, yeah, like it's part of our story. And it's
If you can win the client over from those mistakes, I mean, that to me is like the difference between somebody who really cares about their business and don't.
yeah.
I mean, you could have very easily been like, sorry, we made a mistake. And not even in a negative way. We're all human or whatever, you know, we'll never see you again kind of thing. But you took it, you owned it, you know, and you won someone over. It sounds like that to me is like.
We almost got to go on the Drew Barrymore show for that
Really?
mistake. They reached out to us, vetted us and everything. They were like trying to get us to come.
Wow.
And the timeline was like really close. In fact, the reason that they said that we didn't go is because we had resolved the issue amicably. They wanted to resolve the
They
issue
wanted
like
the
on the show. Yeah.
combativeness of it
And
all.
they kept asking, they're like, is everything okay? I'm like, no, we're fine. That wasn't really what, I should have said, she hates me.
But it's
and we could've
evidence of
gone.
what we're dealing with out there in this world. And look, even if you don't have a business, right? I mean, you can't drive down the street and make a mistake, and leave a stoplight too fast or whatever without somebody, it's not just a beep beep anymore. It's, curse you for all you're worth.
Yeah.
And every walk of life, you wonder to what extreme this is all going to go. But when you own a business, for sure, it's like you got to sit back, and sometimes it's like, well, all these employees, their livelihood or their paychecks count on how I handle this one issue, right? It's a lot of pressure. I mean, don't you find? I mean, second location's got to double it up now, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, my second location, I have a high threshold for stress and for pressure. So I would say probably for a person, like a normal person, I don't consider that to be normal. It would be a lot, but even for me with an exorbitantly high threshold for that, when I opened New Orleans from probably November of 2024 to April or May of this year, I was a shell of a person. Like, just if somebody would walk up to me, you could ask anybody close to me, if somebody would walk up and say, how's New Orleans going? I would burst into tears. It was so bad.
Are you managing it all yourself, or do you have someone down there that helps you?
Well, I have a manager. I'm the owner of both, and then I have a manager that helps me manage both. So we both kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
There's nobody there in New Orleans like an every single day manager, but I split my time there 50-50. And then she works at Hammond Batter, but is available 24/7. So, I mean, not 24/7. Gosh, no. Monday through Friday.
Yeah. When things are needed.
Yeah.
Do you have children?
I don't, not yet.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, like, man, it's a lot of driving if you're swinging between those two.
And actually, that's kind of something that we talk about. Like, we both want kids, and obviously, we didn't know when we started this business a little over 3 years ago, how it was going to take shape, but definitely opening the New Orleans shop and not having really found a peace with it yet. Just making sure that everything is kind of covered, it doesn't make it easy to want to, I want kids, but it's like, where are we going to put that? Yeah. And I think about that all the time.
Yeah. A pregnancy and how that might go. And
I think that's my first thought. People that are like, I got so sick. I'm like, I can't even take off one day. How am I going to be sick every day for 8 weeks? Who wants a sick person
baking their cookies and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. I don't know when I said baking cookies, what's your best selling item, by the way? I'm just curious.
Best selling, probably a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing. Yeah. But I would say right up there with it is an almond petifour. We sell thousands of almond
it's kind of like that wedding cake flavor, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's like our thing.
And apparently there was a bakery here a long time ago called, I don't want to butcher the name. Was it Corona's?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently our petifours are very close to how their petifours were.
Man, I know we had some of those, like I said, in the box that we had, but we had gotten our wedding cake from Swiss down in the city. And so for the longest time, if I ever got down to New Orleans, I had to stop and get them there. But do you make a almond flavored Pop-Tart or something?
Yeah, we make a wedding cake Pop-Tart.
Dude, I tried that. And I mean, I literally can't have another one.
Really?
Yeah, because
I think about pulling that flavor from our menu all the time. I'm like,
all right, well, maybe I'll come in there and buy it just to keep it on there. But I've been trying to go for this last year, on this health journey. And so I'm eating a lot less of that stuff and whatever. And I think I tasted it in maybe September. And thank God it wasn't February, because I'd have never lost any weight.
Okay.
I mean, phenomenal.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I was going to bring it on with my wife, but it didn't make it out of Mandeville. That's where I had it. I had it at an event over there.
We'll have to get her own.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It'll have to come through some other delivery method.
Hide it.
Yeah. But man, it was great. I happened to catch the guy who owns Insomnia Cookie on a podcast the other day. And he was saying the same thing, that his chocolate chip cookie is the best seller.
This Insomnia?
No,
or
the guy that started it.
Insomnia?
Yeah,
okay,
the guy that started it. And I'm just wondering, is it because people, we all know chocolate chip cookies and we don't want to venture out in something new?
For sure. That's how we even market our chocolate chip, is the OG chocolate chip, but our chocolate chip, there's no other cookie like that. I mean, I say that genuinely,
it's the best seller in both places too, or?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I have always been a chocolate chip cookie lover, because I don't really love sweets, which everybody's like, up in arms about that. But
Yeah.
I don't like overly sweet stuff. There has to be salt content. There's got to be depth to it. So I always try a chocolate chip cookie because it has chocolate,
Yeah.
salt, butter. So yeah, I mean, that's just my favorite thing. And I feel like ours is got all of those things. It's not overly sweet. It does have salt, and our texture is more like cookie dough.
I'm going to be going by there today. I can just feel it right now.
This is an advertisement.
I mean, yeah. I haven't had anything like that in so long, too, that it's just when I get my hands on it.
You still crave it?
Oh, my God, yes.
Oh, okay.
I am a huge
not,
sweet
I'm not a
person.
sweets person, so I can't relate.
Yeah, I don't know if it was I would have weighed 300 pounds as a 10-year-old if my mom literally had to give me snack times.
Oh. And
like I was allowed to have a snack at like when I got home from school and like 7
schedules
p.m.
are good.
And she limited the number of cookies I could have and things like that. Because I'm still like that today. I'm an extreme person.
Yeah.
Like, if I go like this year, decided, 20 years of being out of shape, I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna work out every day. I'm a pile on fasting too. So now I'll fast like leading up to Thanksgiving. I fasted 87 hours without eating anything, just water and black coffee
For 87 hours?
and
How
it's
many
not
days
the
is
longest
that?
I've gone. And some guys that I do it with, they go like 120 hours. Like it's crazy. But, you
Wow.
can lose a lot of weight over 11 months when you,
I can't stop eating for like 2 hours. I
well,
can't imagine.
the first 24 is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
After
for sure.
that, like, you're sort of in the clear. But man, that first 24, if I were to pass by your place, like, and you were closed, I'd probably throw something through the window and climb in because it
Hey,
gets
that
to
would
the
be
point.
good for my TikTok.
Yeah, maybe so.
Go throw a brick
I'll do
through
it
the
just for you.
window.
But yeah, I mean, I'm addicted to that kind of stuff. So, and like I said, it's like that with other things, like starting my business. It's not hard for me, to go 24/7 like you're talking about. I try to chalk it up like it's a conscious decision. Like I'm going to be successful because I'm going to work harder than the next guy. The truth is, it's in my nature to be extreme. So from that perspective, for me, it was the adversity that we might face as business owners is where I can like start to really pull ahead because we're all going to face it, right? It's just that it slows other people down. And for me, if I don't have it, then I'm just average. So that's how we've grown and how I've gotten through things. And again, sort of why I'm here, because I want to see what other people deal with and what they've, faced. I mean, what would you say is your darkest moment in the business? I'm not asking personally,
Yeah.
but like,
I mean, so it kind of depends on, there's like different facets of your business that like can be bad at a time, you know? So I would say like in the beginning, it was trying to get the money to fund the business. Like that was adversity. That was hard. Like
how many banks you say you went through?
6.
Wow.
As it was a lot of persistence, but then we got it and like that was good. I would say the hiring part, like for me, that is a never ending part of the business that really kind of sucks my soul a little bit.
And is it all like gut decision, like how you feel with somebody, or?
I'm pretty, I would say, perceptive. So like I said, I know, normally if someone's going to fit in or not. Sometimes I'm totally wrong. I mean, it's not often, but sometimes I am. And
But from a fit in perspective, like aptitude to do the job or get along with the people in the.
Both, but like more so work in a fast paced environment. I am not the type, now most owners of businesses, maybe they're not there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for you, if you work for me, the boss is there every day. So you have to be comfortable. Some people cannot work around their boss. They're too nervous, that's a problem. Like I work here, I work out of this office. I'm here almost every day. You have to be comfortable doing that. So the hiring part, that has a lot of adversity along with it. And then with my New Orleans business, opening that while having this one, we were in the worst staffing crisis ever when I opened New Orleans. I've never, to this day and before that, had a hiring crisis like that. Hammond had a lot of turnover, and then New Orleans was not even fully staffed when we opened, and I was going through...
Was it COVID or something? Was it hard to find people? What was the problem?
No, it was just... in New Orleans, we had hired a bunch of people before we opened, but unfortunately, due to some contractor delays, we
got delayed in opening and they had to get a job.
Left. Yeah. And I wasn't upset with them. I totally understood. And some of them came back and some of them waited, but for the most part, there was nothing that could be done. I just was like,
it was out of your control.
Yeah. And so when it was time to open, cause we needed money, it's like, this is how many people we've got. So I would wake up at 4 a.m. I would get ready. I would go pick up I had 2 managers at the time. I would go pick up one of them. They traded off days. and they would come with me to New Orleans. We would work and train the staff until 6 when we closed. Then we would close up 6:30. Then we would drive back home an hour, and I would wake up at 4 a.m. and do that the next day.
Are you a big systems person too? Like you got like a system that they have to follow, or is it?
I am now.
Yeah.
I wasn't when we first opened.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I wasn't. I didn't have a system. I didn't know, But obviously, like as the
volume picks up, you see the value in it.
It's a requirement.
Yeah.
That's the only way we're able to do this right now is I have a system for everything. You can't go to the bathroom now without a system. Like we're like, this is the way we do it, and it helps a lot. But, some people you hire don't want to work in a system.
Yeah.
Like they don't. But so that, and then we're also in a little bit of not a little bit, we're in a lawsuit with our contractor in New Orleans. So like that has been its own.
It's a job in itself on the side, just sitting over there, eating at your brain. The minute you get a second to think. Huh?
Yeah, and I just try not to think about it because I don't, I just try not to think about it.
I jokingly tell people that sometimes, as an attorney now for 20 years, there's a lot of what we do is transactional, but there's still a ton of people that come to me, friends or family or people that don't know me at all, and they're like, hey, I got this type case. Mm-hmm. And I sort of jokingly sort of tell them, like, look, all we do is transactional, real estate, wills, successions, company formations, things like that. I was like, because I don't win the arguments at home with my wife. You don't want to pay me to go to court and lose there for you. Truth is, I'll probably be a lot better than that. The cases I have had, I've won more than lost, but I can't deal, and these aren't even my problems. Mm-hmm. I can't deal with walking out of here at night and thinking about having to go into court and argue somebody down, or find them in the part of their story that's a lie, or all these things. So I as a business owner, to be going through it, and I've had my share of mine too, it's already hard enough. You're already filling up your bucket with everything you can fit into the day, and to have that on the side.
It's definitely been like, that is just the top of the top. Like it's just spilling out. It's out of the bucket. It's not in the bucket. I just, every day, I don't think about it until I'm forced to, and I mean, if I have to talk to my attorney or we have to get a statement or I have to do some research or whatever, like we do that. But other than that, like I do not think about it. There's nothing, I have no control over it. It's erroneous. I mean,
it sounded like your social media presence sort of helps you on that front too, though.
Yeah. So when we were building out New Orleans, like you said, I was on live all the time. So a lot of the person who we're in the lawsuit with, a lot of their behavior was documented on camera with hundreds of people. And so we were able to use the statements from those people that were willing to provide it, which was over 50 different people. Yeah, for the lawsuit. So
whose idea was that to go back and think about that?
I want to say my husband and I kind of came to the realization together.
That's
like,
super smart.
I want to give him credit because it might have been him, but I remember that being one of, like, when we were talking about it, he's like, there has to be video of this. I'm like, you're probably right. Let me see. So so we reached out, and I mean, I wasn't expecting that response, but so many people noticed the behavior, and so it made them take a mental note.
Well, even if it doesn't, win you the case, so to speak, it's just got to be nice to know you've got that kind of support. Yeah, that many people watching, number one. I mean, we're going to get 12 or 13 people that might watch me do a podcast. But
if I share it, you might get 30 more.
I'm stoked about that. But to have them step up and take ownership over you that way, right? They want to help you. Man, that's got to feel great, I
mean, but people also love drama,
We won't dwell on that part of it.
Right. But I mean, and like that was the first, right after my husband said, check your live. That is how his brain, he was like, oh, this is going to do numbers for your TikTok. Yeah. Like this guy is going to be exposed.
I mean, that to me is why you ought to get on a show right there. I think that's a great use of your social media. And I don't know, maybe the People's Court will have you on there one day or something.
Oh, I would love nothing more.
Well, look, I feel like we've covered a lot really fast. Yeah. I'll probably have to have you back because I still have other questions. Also, too, just from the bakery side of things, I'm really thinking about sweets now. But before you go, I did want to ask one question. We try to ask all of our guests, like, who is someone that you may know that you think I should reach out to, maybe has a good story that that you think might fit in on the podcast that I should, try to meet or talk to?
Have you talked to Alexis DuCourbier?
I have not. No.
She is.
I know her, though.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah, State Farm,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work for Alexis. I opened Batter after I left
Really?
working for Alexis. I was her personal assistant.
I wonder if I had met you there before then. When I
Maybe.
opened an office, I don't know how far back it was. She was just building that place.
Oh, no, this was.
So not that far back.
I think she opened this place around Katrina time.
Yeah. And so I couldn't remember how far back that was, but I remember walking that building with her and running into her husband there. And do they have don't they have a son that plays soccer or something?
Yeah,
like
they
that?
do. They have 2 sons and a daughter.
One that plays
and
off,
one
maybe?
plays soccer.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've spoken about that before too. I grew up kind of big in soccer. So yeah, I might reach out. That'd be great. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Well, look, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I hope to reap that extra benefit of your social media presence. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But even despite
I can
that,
only promise
it was
30
a great
extras.
story. I mean, congrats on all the success and
Thank you.
the second place. I mean, you're killing it. Like I said, it's in my kitchen right now. I'm probably going to be going by there in the next 30 minutes to an hour.
Wedding cake Pop-Tarts.
I mean, dude, if you got them, I will definitely.
Yeah, every day
I've
until
been
I pull
craving
them from the menu.
Please don't do that. But yeah, again, thank you so much. And again,
Thank
congrats. And I hope to have you on again soon.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Take care. That's it for today's episode of No Quit. If you're still showing up, still building, still fighting, I see you. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and join me for more behind the scenes lessons on what it takes to keep going when most people would walk away. And remember, success isn't about getting it perfect. It's about not giving up.